All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the work session meeting for December 5th, 2023. It's 6 o'clock. I call this meeting to order. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Orndorff.
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Sui.
Here.
Commissioner Watson.
Here.
Commissioner Romanek.
Here.
You know, stand for the salute of the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think we need to take care of these squeaky wheels. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975. Was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to this agenda?
No, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. If anybody would like to address the commission on agenda items only, please come to the podium, state those questions or concerns. Okay, seeing nobody, will close public comment on agenda items only. Move to discussion of commissioners, Commissioner Romanek.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Hewitt.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Watson.
I'm sure we're going to touch base on this on a regular meeting, but we have some changes coming up, obviously, with the new collections that we have, with the self-liquidating utility, talking to Streets and Roads, and they're working on some things down at the department to get ready for those changes. That's all I have.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate the updates. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, we did receive a request to change the name of City Park Drive to Martin Luther King Drive. Seems like it'd be a minimal problem to do it. The only building I can think of on that street is a tax office that does things there that may require a change of address. I see nothing wrong with it, and
When did the letter come?
if you guys are okay with it, we can get a resolution on at the next meeting.
Yep.
And then maybe we can do something on Martin Luther King Day to put a sign up or something.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it.
I agree.
So we can draft a resolution for that at the next meeting. Additionally, you see a resolution for the transfer of funds. It's normal end of the year thing. Some accounts have money, some are lacking money. And, particularly, you know, I know you spoke to me earlier about the $50,000 in one of your funds getting transferred. And that was basically because you had an employee that was out for 6 months. So they didn't require that money for their salary and wages, and we were able to transfer it.
Okay.
That's it.
So I guess my only question to that, the transfer of funds, does that normally go through the department? As a department head and commissioner made aware of those changes in their budgets that they have, or is it,
Well,
I don't know how.
As you did, and I did, and Samantha Cruz did, they read the stuff on the agenda so that they see that funds are being transferred.
Right.
Now, if somebody doesn't read that on the agenda, seems like it's a pretty responsible thing for me, for department heads to do, to read the agenda. So,
Yeah, I just saw there was a lot of money going back and forth for different
yeah,
things, but I'm
because
sure
when
there's to
Sam
cover.
saw that, she called me right away.
She's like, why are you taking
"You
funds out
take
of my?
money.
Right.
Don't look at the police department to see
Oh,
a
I
lot of
saw the
money
police
going.
department,
And then, you
yeah.
know, and then she called Susan. And
Yeah, she had
all
the
the questions
conversation
were
with.
answered, and so I'm sure she called you. And
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the logistics of that, and I'm guessing if we're only a few weeks left of the month, if we do we leave enough in there? God forbid there is something needed in the.
you can always get it if
Okay.
you need it. Like
That's
it
my
gets
thing.
transferred to a trust fund, and a lot of that goes back in the budget for the next year. So
Okay, that was, I mean, I'm not
The reason-
knocking on when nothing crazy happens,
The
but
reason the law allows that, and every town does it, is because, you know, your budget is based on your estimated costs, and then things don't cost exactly what you estimated, and so at the end of the year, you have some shortfalls and you have other surpluses, and so you're allowed to juggle the accounts.
and I know you're
basically.
only supposed to do it at certain times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I appreciate those questions. Thank you.
you know, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
I
no,
did.
go
I
ahead.
did have one other thing. So, you know, I was starting to look at, you know, next year's budget, of course. So there's, you know, and I just happened to sign some bills, so it gives people idea how much it costs to have employees. You know, there was prescriptions for October for employees was $71,000. You have active duty for health benefits, 279,000. Retirement health benefits, 105,000. It's a month. So, you know, it's just an idea, and we already know that health benefit contributions are going up 7%. So you can see that's another significant increase for the city. And the state sets those, and that's what's happening. As well as the pension contribution is going up approximately somewhere between around $72,000. And mainly, most of that, and no insult intended to the police department, most of that is going to the police department because of the contract with the Supervisors Association. So when their wages go up, all these other costs increase as well.
So for the retired, like retirement fund, that's for a certain amount of time, right? They're
Correct.
like
That's-
however many.
I can't remember what it is. You remember what it is, in 8 years or something? 5 years or 8 years?
13.
13 years.
I think so, 12 or
Yeah.
13.
Some municipalities don't give anything, you know, they stop it at that point, but we go on for 13 years.
Okay. So hopefully some of that will be cycling through.
No, it's probably gonna get bigger. People
As
live longer.
contracts are-
Yeah,
yeah.
people
And
live
contracts
longer,
keep going up.
Contracts are coming up,
Yeah.
contracts keep going up, so.
And I know we had a conversation at one of the last work sessions about, with the contracts, having one or two of us on. Have we established who's doing that? Or
Well,
have you guys been in contract?
I believe we established it was Mr. Watson and Mr. Hewitt, and, you know, I don't know what those contracts are gonna look like, so I don't know what effect that's gonna have on the tax rate. It all depends on their capable negotiation skills.
How good are you at negotiating?
I can see from both sides. You know, we have a lot of good people that work for the city, and they supply the services to keep the city going. Trash collection, recycling collection.
It's all a balance.
Making sure that we have sewer, making sure that we have clean drinking water. And, you know, in today's world, it's kind of hard to find people, you know, so we got to take care of the good ones we have, and we have to offer a good benefit package for those coming in. It's just all part about taking the city, so
Yep.
we got to see it from both sides, I guess. To have an answer for you on how we're going to get the money to keep good people here and to make sure that we bring good new people when they start, I don't really have an answer for that.
Only
other
one way to
than-
get it.
Yep.
I believe we're all working on that as.
As the city grows, so does the employees. So the
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
people that live here, the more people we're going to have to take care of it.
This is true. Do you have anything else?
That's all I have, thank you.
I know I was questioning Brock downstairs, and I'm just gonna put this out there, that I had questioned about the trash utility as well. And I know it's a, I wanna say a big change, you know. And my question was how we're allowed to put this into ordinance before having the final numbers and everything. And you just told me we're gonna have a resolution based on the fees that are going to be, once we have that all figured out. Do we know if any services are going to change based on what we're doing? Services are gonna be the same, like normal pickup, large pickups?
There's going to be
I feel like
some-
there's gonna be those questions that are any of the services that we currently have going to change?
Yeah, our recycling coordinator is going to be here tonight, but there are some changes coming up.
Okay.
Obviously, we haven't posted anything because we don't have multiple changes and confuse anybody. I believe it's probably going to be towards February is when the large bulk item collections is going to actually go into effect for us.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're still talking to ACOA, trying to figure out everything, but, you know, with the limited options we're having, and, you know, Brock and our recycling coordinator, Chris, they're doing their best to, you know, communicate well with ACOA and try to come up with a, you know, just a plan, you know, that there's not many options.
I
But in
understand.
terms of the level of services, we're still under contract with the ACUA, at least till, I think it's March of 2025. So it would be essentially the same level of services as far as they're concerned. Now, obviously, once that contract expires, then we're in uncharted territory because, you know, we would hope that we would be able to continue to do business with the ACUA, but they may want to change the level of service. If they're not interested, then we have to go out to bid. And, you know, it's going to depend what we get back. And you may get, if you get a hauler that submits a response. Remember, Vineland went out to bid recently,
Got
nobody
nothing.
submitted a response. But if you're lucky enough to get a response, it might be for a different level of service than what we have now. And as to the monthly charge for the utility, the reason that that's not in an ordinance, and if you look at Vineland's ordinance, it's the same, is because that's going to change every year as costs go
Right.
up, as tipping fees go up, as, labor costs go up, as diesel fuel and natural gas go up.
And
Those
it's
costs.
per household, it doesn't matter size
Yeah.
of household, it's per household.
It's per household,
It's
yeah.
the same way as Vineland
Yeah.
and surrounding municipalities. I was talking and thinking as I'm driving in, and I mentioned this just downstairs in brief, that, I don't know if do we have to have this trash utility? Is it a must for the size of the city? But I would rather pay the fee. I mean, I don't want to have to make anybody pay an extra fee, but I would rather pay $20 and have to haul my own trash on a weekly basis to a dump.
Well, here's the driving.
So I know in a lot of surrounding
Right, here's
communities
the-
have to do
Here's the
that.
driving force to having a trash utility, and it's really driven by Oakview Apartments. But then if we do it for Oakview, we'll have to do it for all the apartments. So right now, they take care of their own trash. And all the trash comes out of taxes. So the argument is that if I'm paying taxes, I'm Oakview and I'm paying taxes, I'm entitled to the same services as everybody else paying taxes, which wasn't the case before. Law and case law has changed that. So, as you can imagine, the cost to pick up the trash from all the apartment complexes runs in, I think,
Like
just
400.
about 340 or
Well,
something.
Oakview alone was looking for $45,000 for 1 year from the city as reimbursement. Oakview alone.
That's just Oakview, and we have
And
many
then,
apartment
and then
complexes.
Chris did a estimate, and again, it was an estimate, but his estimate would be that if we did provide the service to all the apartment complexes in town, which I think you would be required to do under there's a statute
do
that
that,
basically
too.
says you have to do that, that would be an additional $340,000 that we're not spending now.
And
So it's
additionally,
either
the
have the service and or pay.
Yeah.
And
And that's a lot of money.
ACUA did not want to do it. They don't want to do it.
Right. So we would
So
have to
we're forced to.
reimburse, and we wouldn't have any choice, and we think it would be about almost $350,000 per year that we're not spending now.
Okay. They're just thoughts I had, and
We were
I'm-
talking about-
as much as I don't want to increase anybody's, monthly
Well, I don't wanna pay
services,
anymore.
and I don't want to pay anymore
Yeah.
either,
The
but I
key-
don't want to haul
right.
my own trash
The
either.
key, the key to the utility is that the utility, the funds the utility gets have to go into the utility account.
Utility itself.
And that way, no city general revenue funds are being used for anyone's trash collection. And that's what takes away the argument that the apartment complexes would have, because they would say, well, look, you're using tax dollars to provide tax collection services to some residents, so you have to provide it to us as well. So this is how, really the only way we can deal with that problem.
Okay.
And, I did see a question about, would you change the tax rate? Well, that all depends on everything else when we get the budget done. Whether we would change the tax rate or not, or we would be able to give part of it back or none of it back or whatever. It all ties in negotiation, projected costs for everything,
And I
right?
think that
So-
the city and everybody in their departments and their department heads and you yourself, Joe, in finance, are working diligently to make sure we don't have to. But the city also has to keep taking account that it's also county taxes. The county's going to raise your taxes
County,
and your rate, and the school
school
board.
board, we're
And the
definitely
school
gonna do it
board
again.
always increases their taxes no matter what, and they have a huge surplus.
And we
So
have no
they
say about
always-
that, none.
And we have
I'm
no say, but they
guessing it's
take
gonna
it
be
because
5
they
cents
can.
again. And,
So, I mean, I think that the city is trying to do. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they'll take their
that's
max
their-
because they
yeah.
can. So I think that we're working and trying not to raise them, but based on economics.
Well, the funny part
So-
is, I always hear it's for the children, yet I see them promoting dozens of people to higher titles and giving them more money. So
Administration.
I'm not sure it's always for the children.
Bridget said to me the other day, she goes, Mom, our health books are like 15 years old. They're not even up to date. I was like, that's interesting. On that note. All right, anything else this evening? New business?
We have no new business, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Public comment portion, just for the work session. If anybody would like to address the mission, please come to the podium, state your name, your concerns, and please limit those comments to 5 minutes. Seeing nobody, we'll close the public comment on the work session. Any closing comments for commissioners?
No, thank you.
Nope.
Okay,
No?
you guys are good. We have no resolutions, correct? Just
That's
making sure.
correct.
All right, just need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.